Hi, today we'll talk about a very important function called VLOOKUP in Excel. This VLOOKUP function is actually a function that helps you find out a particular option that's there in a row from another table. For example, in this case, we'll talk about a class list where we have the names of all the students listed and the class section names listed. Now we have a room name option over here, table column that we may want to fill it manually. For example, if you do not know VLOOKUP, so we have a reference table over here where it says that if the class section name of a student is A, then the room name should be orange. If it's B, then the room name should be Hector, C, grasslands, D, mirage. So let's say if it's A, then we'll manually go ahead and type orange over here. If it's D, we'll manually go ahead and type mirage over here. If it's B, then Hector, so on and so forth. Now, what if there are only 10 or 15 such rows? You may want to quickly go ahead and type it out. But what if there are hundreds of such rows? What will you do it? Doing it manually is a waste of time and effort. I mean, what if there was a simple function that you can use to do this? And this simple function is called VLOOKUP. Excel has this very beautiful function called VLOOKUP where you can just compare a particular row value in a particular table and pull out a corresponding value from there. We'll just see how this can be achieved. So just type equals to over here, and as you go ahead and type the name of the function, Excel automatically suggests you some various functions. So if you type VL, you see the name VLOOKUP comes up. You can just click on tab, and once you click on tab, you'll be able to see the various parameters of this function. Now the parameter one is the lookup value, which value we want to compare. In this case, we want to compare the section names. So we'll just select the section name A, the cell over here. We'll hit comma. Then the second parameter value is the table from where you want to pick this value. So this is the table from where we want to pick this value. We'll just select the first two columns because our objective is to select class section and room name. Okay. Then once we hit comma, we'll see the third one is the column index name. The column index name is nothing but in this table here, which column value we want to pick up in case there is a match. So we don't want to put section name here because section name is already here. We want to pull up the room name here, which is column number 2. So it starts with 1, 1, and 2. So room name here is 2. So we'll put in 2 over here. Now we want an exact match here. So we want the exact name of the room. So we'll just select false and bingo. There you go. The room name orange is rightly selected. Now we can just drop down and pull up this formula down and you'll see that the first three are properly selected, but after that we have a whole lot of hashtags NA. Okay, this means that there's something wrong with this formula. Why is these not getting selected properly? Let's assess what the error is. Okay, so this one's correct. If I click here, I see that my cell reference here is D4. I need to select the section. Now even my table, the second one, is properly selected. The column indexes are proper and the value false. It always shows up as nothing over here, but it's false by default. So don't worry on that. Okay, let's assess the second one. And this is how we should do Excel assessment in case there's something error that you receive. Okay, so in this case, we see the second row here and the second row. You see here, it's D5. Reference has properly shifted down. Let's see the table. And there you go. You see that your table reference is also shifted down by one row. Okay, but it still covers the gamut of your A, B, C, and D class section, and hence you get the correct result over here. Okay, now let's see Hector. Here you see the cell reference here is D6, which is correct, but in this case, your table cell reference has also shifted by 2 cells. And why do we get the correct results then? Because B, section B here falls under this selection. Okay, and that's why you're getting the correct result. Now let's see this one. why are you getting an error over here? So you select D7 over here. So you get D7, which is the correct reference over here. Now, if I select the table, you see no, the table reference has shifted down by 3 cells. And we don't want to do that because A, which we want to compare, is outside the reference of this table. Okay. Now, one way to do that is we want to fix this or freeze this table. We want this references to move down as the formula moves down, but we want to freeze this table. And how we are going to freeze this table is by putting dollar signs. Now there's a shortcut to do that as well, but I'll do it the long way because we're learning here. So we put dollar signs over here, okay? And this table now is frozen. And now if I drag and drop it down, you see all the values are properly filled in, and the reason is because this reference over here is fixed, the first parameter that we want to compare, and I'm sorry, it's moving properly, and the second parameter, that's the table reference, is fixed, and this is exactly what we want to do. Okay, now I hope you are with me. What I want you to do is to download this Excel sheet from the description and try it out with me. Maybe pause the video for a minute and then try it out and see if you are having any challenges. We'll do another example. In this case, I'll proceed with the example. Just pause the video and just be with me. Okay. All right. So now we'll go ahead and see another example. We want to compare a teacher name over here based on the section name. Class as for example, the section name is A, then according to this table, the teacher name should be Mrs. Mary, B, then the teacher name should be Mrs. Rita, and we'll do, and so on and so forth. And we'll do it the similar way, okay? Now hit equal to sign and then type in slowly VL, and please be with me, do it with me, otherwise you'll not be able to learn. Uh, the secret to learning Excel is that you have to practice, and the only way to practice is by seeing and doing yourself. So please do it with me. Okay. Now, once you type in VL, hit the tab button, you see that the Excel formula is already on the cell with the parameters listed. So the first parameter is the lookup value. So click on the lookup value. We want to compare the section name. Okay, hit comma. We want this table. This is our table comparison. This time I want the teacher name as well included. So I'll just select the full table. Okay. And remember we talked about freezing the table using the dollar values. So I'll just put in the dollar values over here. Okay. Now hit comma. Next option is your column index name. So which column you want to select? We want to select the teacher name. Okay. So what's the column number? 1, 2, 3. Okay. So always remember the column number starts with 1 and then so on and so forth. So in this case, 1, 2, and 3. Okay. So we'll put the column number as 3, hit comma, and we want the exact match. So we'll hit select false, hit enter, and bingo. You see here, Mrs. Mary is selected for section A. Now we just drag this formula, and because our table reference is frozen, okay, you see that all the teachers are properly mapped and selected from this table in this table. Okay. Now this VLOOKUP formula can be applied or using different sheet combinations. Let's say you have a in this sheet you are having both the tables in one sheet. Now it is possible that you have working on one sheet and this is on a different sheet, or let's say it's present on a different workbook altogether. It's just a matter of referencing the correct cell and table and freezing them properly, and you should get the right value over here. Okay. So this was short about the VLOOKUP formula. Just practice it and let me know in comments if you face any challenges. I'll happy to answer them. Do let me know. Thank you.